government is still debating on whether or not they're going to increase the restrictions on that. After all, they're saying they might start fining people, they might start to take criminal action against people, because they're saying that people are going outside regardless of the orders because the weather is nice. And the threat there is what we see in Italy with the massive skyrocketing number of cases, largely brought about because health officials are saying people are not obeying the quarantine. Now, here in Israel, for the most part, we are seeing, even at the religious sites, which were the most resistant to the new quarantine regulations, them starting to be put into place, leading to these sort of empty sites you see today. But I think people are starting to take things more seriously now. Over the weekend, Israel just saw its first fatality from the coronavirus, an 88-year-old with pre-existing health complications. But it started to drive the point home, alongside the spiking number of cases, that this is something that has to be taken seriously. Health ministry officials are saying in local Israeli media that they're expecting to see about 300 more cases confirmed today, saying that there's a slowdown over the weekend only because over the 7th, fewer and fewer kits were being tested. So they're expecting to see a spike today, and it's causing people to start to think to themselves, maybe it's not just overreacting. Maybe, given that the cases seem to be increasing at an exponential level in Israel, it's something that should be taken seriously, and everybody is staying home because the government is saying if you don't stay home, the health system will not be able to keep up with the spiking number of cases. That's why you get sites like you're seeing behind me, the very rare nothing at the Western Wall.
Yes, Ariel. I mean, it's situation's odd the world over with no tourism in Israel. It's a surreal sight here. Obviously, from the images behind you, we get the impression, but in Jerusalem at large, you have the feeling that the restrictions are being followed?
Oh, absolutely. The streets are empty. As we drove in today, we saw no traffic. You know, you can usually find no parking whatsoever near the Western Wall. Today, there were dozens and dozens of spots, completely empty streets. We saw the malls were all closed. The stores were all closed. Restaurants, aside from those that were doing mostly takeout, were all closed. Everybody seems to be obeying the restrictions, at least for now. There seems to be, at least according to analysts, in the early stages of a pandemic, people more willing to obey the restrictions. But when we hit the 2-week mark, people might start to shake, and you'll start seeing people start to come out of their houses, at which point the government has to make those decisions. Are they going to start enforcing it with criminal charges, with fines, with the like? Or at that point, are they going to say it's slowed down enough to let people back into public? For now, though, people seem to think it's okay to wait their time.
Thank you very much, Ariel Levine Waldman at Jerusalem as well.
The streets of Jerusalem are empty when you see here in Tel Aviv that it's not completely full, but almost full. The promenade here is booming. People are violating the curfew by the minute, and we see more and more people coming out. And we also hear a lot of people saying that the police, they're not even going to be able to enforce these law regulations, and that's why people don't want to stay at home. If the police are not going to be able to enforce it anyways, then why follow the orders? And also, there's another interesting thing to note here. The police are watching people violate these curfews, and they're not doing anything about it. I want to give you a little idea of what we're looking at here. This is the promenade at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it will only get busier. Like I said, every 5 minutes or so, we see somebody violating these curfews, whether it be sitting next to each other, very, very close, or using the gym that you can see next to us here. There's a gym that is definitely a bacteria hub that is being used by people, and this is strictly forbidden. This is something that people are really not supposed to be doing, because saliva and sweat and spit in general will make this coronavirus continue and only cause a bigger outbreak. So it's a very, very interesting situation we have here in Tel Aviv, and I'm sure that we're going to be hearing much more about this situation tonight because the politicians are talking a lot about how to enforce these regulations, David.
And on the issue of enforcement,
what one said, we also hear that some people say that Israelis will not allow themselves to be quarantined in this way because they need public mental health to continue. And if you're staying at home, not going out, not talking to anyone, you will go crazy, is basically what they're saying. So they are calling on the government to allow public spaces to be open and to have people being here and getting some fresh air. So far, no following of orders here from the Israelis on the promenade.
Obviously, a little.
I'm here watching this for 124 news that these Israelis are hard-headed, so we're prepare Filipinos stay at home with our olds. So
structure. Now, authorities there.
This is a news for today morning. I'm watching for the 124 news for today here in Israel.
Correspondent Emily Rose, thanks.
Thank you.
So we